In this tutorial, we will explain how middle years collaborative inquiry participants can enter their cycle data from Cycle 1 and Cycle 2. By opening a browser on a desktop computer and accessing the tapintoteenminds.com site /MYCI or selecting MYCI from the nav bar at the top, you can select the Submit Data form. That should bring you to the MYCI Cycle Data Analysis form. We can use this for each cycle to input a summary of your data analysis. The form will ask you for your name, your school, how many years your school has been involved, as well as how many years you have personally been involved with the project. Please note that teachers that have transferred into the school recently may have been involved for less years than your colleagues. In this example, we're going to enter data for Cycle 1. We ask that each member quickly summarize the specific change in teaching practice that was implemented during the cycle. Next, you'll be asked to enter in information with regards to your marker students. If you've been recording student data in Google Drive, you may wish to open up your data collection spreadsheet now. If you've been recording student data on a paper copy, you should get that copy now in order to complete this form. In this example, I have my marker students highlighted in orange. I'm simply going to take the working level at the start of the cycle and at the end of the cycle and select those two values for marker student number 1. If you have any anecdotal information you'd like to share, you can type it into the text box. However, this is not a requirement. Repeat this process for marker students 2, 3, and 4. The next section of the form involves the entire class. For Level R students, we'd like you to indicate how many Level R students you had at the beginning of the cycle, how many Level R students you had at the end of the cycle, and then finally, how many Level R students improved to above a Level R throughout that cycle. It's important to note that the third field represents the number of students who were at Level R at the beginning of the cycle, but improved to Level 1 or better at the end. Note that this is not simple subtraction. You will have to go back and look at each individual student who was at Level R to start the cycle and determine how many students improved to a Level 1 or better. As you can see in this example, we had 5 students at Level R to start the cycle, and all 5 Level R students improved. That means that all 5 students who began the cycle at Level R actually improved, while there were 2 other students in the course that actually dropped from a Level 1 or better down to a Level R. The same logic will be used as we calculate the students at other levels in the course. The last section of this form involves the analysis and trends that you may have picked up along the first 2 cycles. Feel free to share any information that you've noticed throughout your first 2 cycles so that we can record the data and see if we notice any trends across the board. When you've completed the form, press the Submit button and scroll to the top, and you should see that your form has successfully been submitted. Please note there's a link that you can select in order to submit Cycle 2 data using the same form. Since many of us have iPads through the MYCI project, feel free to access the form using Safari on your iPad in conjunction with Google Drive to access your student data. It's important to note that you can multitask on your iPad. Using 4 fingers, you can push up on the screen or double tap on the home button to jump back and forth between Safari and Google Drive. Alternatively, you can use 4 fingers to swipe to the left and right to move back and forth between apps. This should make transferring your data to the form much easier. If you're not into using some of the multitasking features of your iPad, feel free to transfer some of your student data to a piece of paper to make transferring it into the form easier.